Current dream sponsorship. I should make a TikTok about this, actually. You see me. You see the mic. You see an empty Celsius can. And you know what's about to happen. Welcome back to this week's episode of Gabbin W Gab. Yes, it's a little late, and I do apologize for that. Honestly, I did film this video on Sunday, meant to go up Tuesday, didn't like the footage. I'm refilming it with more energy, more variety of questions. So I'm doing, by the way, this is a birthday episode. My birthday was last week, but now I'm 20. So it's my 20 questions for my 20th birthday episode. And I have a ton of questions, and I wrote down who asked what. Some people submitted anonymously. Fair play. But let's just dive right in. Okay. This one's fun to start with. Are you embarrassed of your nut allergy? Now, this question comes from Molly, who also has a nut allergy. And to be completely honest, yeah, a little. I am a little embarrassed, and I've accepted that I'm embarrassed of it, but I am. But I'm also proud of it because it makes me unique. Do blondes have more fun? This comes from Anonymous, and my answer is absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. If you haven't been blonde in your life, you should try it. Absolutely yes. Okay, first kiss story. This question comes from Ellison. Let's flash back 7 years to the summer before 8th grade. I was doing a show, and I was starting a flirtation with this gentleman in the show, and we went on a date to the movie theater, the Milford Rave, and we saw Paper Towns, which I just read that summer, loved the book, ate that shit up. So we're at the movies, and it's kind of towards the end, and I leaned over, and I was like, oh, the movie's almost ending, and he said something like, oh, we better make the most of it, or something like that, and then he grabbed me and we pecked for a second and pulled back, and I remember it being a little wet, not gross, but his mouth was a little open, and I was so not ready for that, and I was it was oh, this is weird, and that's it. We literally went on 2 dates and we kissed twice, but still a funny memory. And I remember the second kiss, because we also went on our second date, we also went to the movies. It was actually a double date, and we kissed once at the second date too, and our lips were more closed, and it was dry, and I preferred the dry one because I was kissing is gross. Yeah. And that was going into 8th grade. So I had my first kiss before a lot of my friends. And I felt like I was hot shit for that too. So, okay, next question. What is the worst thing you did when you were in high school? Okay, so I didn't do anything that bad in high school. I'm thinking about in the building, at school. But there was this one thing that my friend and I did. So our school every year does an elf on the shelf thing during exam week, and they call it our principal's name on the shelf, and they tape a little picture of his face on the elf. They hide it around the school every day, and the first person to find it every day gets a gift card or something. And they'd always say okay, ready, go find it during second bell, and I'd study hall second bell. This is my senior year, by the way. And the Friday of that week, so the last day before the semester was over, during second bell, they announce it, somebody finds it, and they're oh, okay, la la la. And then my friend and I go and look because we're not in class. We're oh, there it is. And we saw it, walked away. We come back at the end of the day, we had rehearsal, and it's still there. It's still in the hiding spot from earlier that day. And we were And then we took it. We took the elf on the shelf, and we put it in a locker. And then at the end of the year, we took it home, and I'm pretty sure she still has it. So we definitely just stole the elf on the shelf from school, which is I wonder if they bought a new one because it's a tradition. But yeah, that was actually pretty funny. It's not too terrible, but I guess I did steal something. So that question was from Joseph, by the way. If you could visit anywhere in the world, where would you go? This question is actually from my dad. I know it's a little basic, but I definitely, there's a lot of places I want to go, and I know it's a little basic, but definitely need to go to Greece, Croatia, that kind of area of the world. I just want to go see all the little islands, and I want to see the sunshine and see the culture, and I want to live my best Mamma Mia life. If you've ever been in that show, or if you love those movies, you know, like, it just totally romanticizes it, and I just want to experience that. So if I could go anywhere, like, right now with my friends, I'd be like, oh my god, let's go to Greece. Okay. Why is the color pink associated with Gabby? This question comes from Kennedy, who was actually on last week's episode. If you want to check it out. I think that the color pink is associated with Gabby because I claimed it. I'm just kidding. I think it's more that Gabby is associated with the color pink than pink's associated with me. I'm not going to take all of that credit, but it definitely is my favorite color, and I definitely have made it known since I was young. I have a lot of pink in my closet, but also I just feel like I enjoy the color because there's so many different, you have light pink, hot pink, neon pink, like a darker, like rouge color, you know, and I like all the different levels of it. It's all the different, it can show so many different sides of a personality. So yeah, the real reason probably is like, it's probably ties back to the Elle Woods thing, and that me associating myself with that after playing her, and of course the pink comes along with that too. So okay, we're already 5 questions in. Look at us go. Okay, why are you forever stuck as a freshman? This question is from my friend Jacob. You know what, Jacob, that's a really great question, and I would be like, I'm not a freshman anymore, I'm a sophomore, but like, I'm literally about to start at a new school again in 2 weeks, so you could kind of say I'm a freshman, even though I'm a sophomore. And I'll also probably be in school for an extra year, so I'm basically class of 2025 at this point, which is like the freshman. And, you know, I know that you're joking, but what's wrong with being new to a place and getting to take it all in and getting the excitement of freshman year? And also, I guess, the awkwardness of freshman year, but like, that's okay too. So, I mean, as long as you're a year older than me and a year ahead of me in life, you will forever be a sophomore in my brain, and I will forever be a freshman. So that is a very fair point. Okay, what trend do you want to come back from, like, early 2000s, your childhood? This question's from Brandon. Let's see. I don't want this trend to come back necessarily, but something I remember that I'm curious if you guys remember are those little like curly cues that you would like clip in your hair, and they like had like ribbons. I'll try to find a picture. I used to wear those like every single day. A lot of trends from my childhood are coming back right now anyway. You know what I kind of think would be iconic in like a few years? Because I feel like it's not like the Patagonia jackets that everyone had. I just think that would be fun because they're like comfortable. And it's like a sweatshirt, but it's more elevated. See, the trend cycle goes so fast. I can't even think about like what hasn't already come back, you know? Favorite show right now. This is from Anonymous. Okay, obviously excited for the rest of Euphoria season 2. I watched the first episode on Sunday, like the day after it came out or whatever. But I also started watching the Sex Lives of College Girls. I've only seen the first episode, so like I can't really say it's my favorite show right now, but I did really like it, and like it's the show I'm like thinking about watching again, like watching the rest of it. Cause I like to binge shows and then not watch like anything except YouTube videos for like a month. And I think Sex Life of College Girls is gonna be my next show I'm like binging, because I think there's already like a lot of episodes out of that. Yeah, okay. What is one thing new you want to try this year? New college, new people, new everything. This is your year of new LOL. I think that I want to try a lot of new foods. I'd say I have a childish food palette. Like, I'm a picky eater. I've been trying to expand that more recently. I also must say that my allergies hold me back in some aspects. Like, I can't really eat. There's not a lot of Thai food I can eat. There's not a lot of Vietnamese food or Chinese food I can eat. There's just like a few random ingredients that I can't eat, like pesto, or like obviously anything with nuts or like pine nuts or soy sauce, because I'm allergic to soy too, guys. I mean, that's also kind of embarrassing, but I know there's a lot of foods I just haven't tried because I'm like, that doesn't sound good. So like, but I want to try it this year. Like, I don't know, like more vegetables, because whenever I try a weird vegetable, I usually end up liking it, like Brussels sprouts, kale, artichoke. So maybe more random vegetables, maybe some calamari, maybe some oysters. There's a lot of seafood I haven't tried, which is funny because I totally worked at a seafood restaurant this summer and I like never had seafood. Best and worst school dance dress. This is from my friend Sam. Oh yeah, it was also like a shift dress, like nothing with curves. I mean, I don't want to hate on my freshman stuff because I feel like they were so freshmen that it was like I needed to get there so I could get to the better stuff. My freshman year snowball dress just didn't have any shape to it. We'll let the picture do the talking here. And overall, my look, the under the eye concealer that year was just pretty iconic. Okay, I think that my best dress was probably snowball senior year. I looked good that night. I didn't even have a dress. I literally took that from my sister's closet when I landed at home because I was in Syracuse that morning for a college audition and I flew home and everyone was already at the dance and I literally got into the dance 2 minutes before they cut it off. So that's my best dress I think I wore in high school. Worst stage experience. This is from my friend Katie. I was thinking about this question the other day and there was no time where I had to like improv. There was a time a set piece fell down, but I wasn't on stage at the time. But there was a time that we were performing Last Dragon of Camelot. This is like my first like bigger show. And I was like 10 and we performed like the show for that weekend or whatever. And then we did like an outreach at like a museum center. And I had my costumes. I had 2 costumes. We did the full show at this museum center, but there was no like backstage. So we had this one dance where we were in these little blue outfits and then we changed into like these red outfits for like the next scene. And they were like, okay, at the museum center during the blue dance, you have to exit where your costume was because you can't go across the stage and get it. You can't go behind the stage and get it. And so for me, that was the opposite of the spot I had been doing. So when it happened, me and another girl exited what we were used to and our costumes were totally left on the other side of the stage. And I just remember being like, shoot, our like stage manager was like, you can't be in the rest of the show or we're gonna have to figure something out. And and then a girl that was like older, she had like one of the lead parts, she was so nice and she like, we were like her little fairies and she was like Morgana, I think that's her name, like the sorceress in Camelot. She like did an extra crossover where she like was pretending to herd her fairies across the stage so we could like run over and change costumes, which, you know, was just super nice. And I remember feeling so bad about that. Like I used to say that was the moment I regretted the most for like 2 years after that. Like I took that to heart, which I guess was a good lesson, but a little dramatic. So I would say that was probably like one that sticks out in my head for sure. Do you think that with mainstream medium today and social media apps, it has been hard to find your sense of style and the aesthetics that are true to you because of the constant comparison we as viewers are doing? This question is also from Brandon. Short answer, yes. Long answer, for sure. I still don't really feel like I have a very distinct style besides just like athletic clothes. I used to always live in athletic clothes, especially when I was like a musical theater student because I always had to be ready to like be on my feet. That's just what I felt the most comfortable in. I still dress like that, but definitely like living in the city, seeing people like just dress up to go to class and stuff. I didn't really try that much to up my ante, but I became more conscious of the clothes I was like purchasing and such and wearing, and it's hard to find an aesthetic you like when the cycles are changing so fast. And I'm still like defining that a little right now and like what I like for myself, but yeah, overall, like I used to hate jeans when I was younger, hate them, would not wear them for years. And then my sophomore year of high school, I wore jeans to school like every day with my leather jacket. That was a time. And then I was like no jeans except going out, and now I'm like I have like 5 pairs of jeans that I don't really wear them ever casually though, so that's true to me. But yeah, I feel like I used to always look at the pieces, and now I like think about outfits as a whole more because of like wanting to be trendier. I don't know. It's interesting. That's a very interesting thought. Go to makeup slash hair items. This question is from Peyton. I could use help on my hair routine, but I do use Olaplex, and I'd say like my favorite Olaplex product is either Olaplex number 3 or Olaplex number 7. 3 is like the hair mask, and 7 is like the leave-in oil, and I actually don't have 7. I steal my sister's, but she just loves that. So 3 really helps if my hair's feeling super dry, super damaged. Like after I slept in front of like a heater when I was sleeping in my friend's dorm, and my hair was literally like cotton candy, and I just put the mask in for like 30 minutes, and my hair felt so much better when I showered it out. So I feel like if you're going to get one Olaplex product, it should be the hair mask. Like go-to makeup products, I always use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I like it. I lost my eyelash curler, so it looks even better when I actually curl my eyelashes. That's my go-to mascara. I'd say top 3 is that, the Milk cheek and lipstick in the color Work. Love, obsessed, use it like all the time. And then my Bare Minerals Bare Pro powder foundation. It's just like so easy. Like if there's a reason I just have to look like decent for something quickly, I can just like put it all over my face with a brush. I don't really wear it to like long periods of time, but it is just like a nice go-to, get her done. And I have it in like a tanner shade and a paler shade because it's winter now. Are you still planning on moving to New York City with Molly even since you dropped theater? Obviously, this question is from Molly, and I don't think she'll be very happy with my answer to this. I always used to want to live in New York City. Like, that was the dream, that was the goal. And then in the past few years, especially with seeing a lot of performers come forward with like the struggle. I knew there was like the struggle of the money and the auditioning, but like the realities of trying to be a working actor in New York, I was like, that is so not the lifestyle I want to have, honestly, like just to be real. And it's also just seems so dirty and cold to me, and I don't know, which is funny because I like Chicago more, which is like colder, I think, but I also wasn't in Chicago in the craziest part. And so I'm not sure. I feel like I would be down to live there for part of my life, but I don't think I'm going to move there straight out of college, honestly. I think I could easily move back to Chicago or to a city where it's a little warmer, because I definitely think the seasons and the weather affects me heavily. So yeah, but I don't think I'm going to be moving to New York City right out of college with Molly. What is your morning routine? Okay, so at school, it's a little different, but I'll just do like here because I'm here right now. Wake up. I try to wake up. I have an alarm set every day at 9, and I either wake up at 9 or I will go back to sleep for an entire REM cycle. I'm not just going to snooze because I'm not actually getting more rest. I will sleep a full 90 minutes, and I will wake up peachy keen, ready to go. So 9 or 10:30, wake up. I usually wet my face off with like micellar water and then like moisturize. I use the CeraVe Daily Lotion, not the cream. I used to use like not the cream, but like the thicker one. Now it's just like, it's a lighter consistency. Contacts. We'll put on the Grande Lash Eyelash Serum, chapstick, brush my hair out, which is like a whole process. Usually put dry shampoo and Olaplex in it, and pick out my outfit. And honestly, also lately, I've been drinking the Core Power, like, chocolate protein drinks. Okay, hear me out. I know it's like a glorified milkshake, but I am lactose intolerant. Like, I have not been, like, officially tested, but, like, I'm pretty much know I'm at least heavily lactose sensitive. So my mom's like, oh, I got these milk protein things. I'm like, whatever, like, that doesn't apply to me. It's for Caroline. I look at the bottle, and it says lactose free. And I'm like, what? How is this lactose free? It's literally milk as a source of protein. Turns out they put like lactase in the drink. So it's like dissolving the lactose. I don't actually know how well it works, but it hasn't really given me problems like normal milk would. So I guess I'm impressed by that. And that's honestly become part of my daily like morning routine is drinking one of those. Especially because I'm at the stage right now where I don't like eggs. You know how you like go back and forth on eggs? Like sometimes eggs are really good and sometimes eggs are like the most disgusting thing ever. Right now they're like the most disgusting thing ever to me, and that's my other go-to breakfast. So I've been having like the protein drink instead. And then outfit, and then yeah. That's like pretty much the only thing that happens every day. And or sometimes I'll walk Tucker, but also sometimes I'll walk him later, or also sometimes I won't have to walk him at all. So yeah, that's my morning routine. Why do you think relationships work? Okay, this is actually a really interesting question. Relationship happens when you're absolutely best friends with somebody. Like, I do believe in being friends with someone first, or having a friend that's friends with someone first. It just, I like can't imagine just like going on a date with someone I know nothing about, and like, I guess it would be interesting, but like, I think the best relationships, you guys are honestly best friends. And that means like, obviously like I have girl best friends too, but I feel comfortable talking about absolutely anything with him. We can joke around about whatever, like we have fun doing everything. You need to be best friends in the sense where you can go to Target and have fun, or you can go out on a date and have fun, or you can literally just like stare at the ceiling and you'll still enjoy your time together. I think that's probably the most important part of a relationship. And then also communication. And like, I think one thing that when I was younger I didn't understand was communication doesn't mean constantly texting each other, constantly in contact. It means like knowing when to talk to your partner, or like the level they want, the level you want, and not getting your validation every time you get a text back, because you know like your relationship is obviously like deeper than that. Communication in the sense that like you are comfortable bringing up anything and they are comfortable bringing up anything and opening up. And I mean, for me at least, I definitely talk to my boyfriend when I'm not with him, but I definitely feel like the most important conversations happen when we're together or over the phone, rather than like constantly talking about nothing, if you know what I mean. I obviously still am excited when I get a text from him, but it's not like I don't think that's what keeps the relationship alive, if you know what I mean. What are your rankings of the Marvel movies? And this question says it was asked by my A-push teacher from high school, but I'm guessing it was actually asked by my lovely friend that likes to drink milk from the gallon, whose name starts with an A. And that's a really hard question. Like that would probably take me a while to do, so maybe I'll type out a list and like put it on the screen here, but I can rank all the Marvel projects from this year because I like remember them better. I haven't watched all the movies since the beginning of quarantine. So what did we have this year? We had WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, What If, Hawkeye, Eternals, No Way Home, I think. Definitely No Way Home takes the cake. Like, it was just such a good movie. And I like TV shows, but I also just like the experience of going to a movie theater, like, is so good. So No Way Home comes in first. I liked the TV shows, but you know, I didn't love all of them. I think the experience of WandaVision, like all the build up, all the talking about it, all the different theories, was fun. And I liked, I mean, over 8 weeks, like that's a pretty long time to be so invested in something. So I'm gonna say No Way Home, WandaVision, followed closely by Shang-Chi. I really liked that movie. I thought it was a great origin story for him and his sister, and I thought it was just good. It felt like more classic, not like classic Marvel, because there was obviously still like magic in it. It wasn't just like superhero-y, but it felt, I don't know, it was just good. It was heartwarming. Loki, controversial opinion. I know the last episode, they left me hanging a lot, honestly. I really wanted to know more, but okay, I wish that I could say Black Widow was top 5, but it just wasn't. And that kind of sucks. I did think it was still a good movie, and I could talk about that for forever. I did think it was worth the watch, but not top 5. Okay, I'm taking literally forever. Let's just bust this out. No Way Home, WandaVision, Shang-Chi, Loki, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, What If, Eternals. Sorry, Eternals, I did not like Eternals. Come for me. I mean, it was still good. It had an interesting message, but I just did not love it. Something you learned in 2021. Okay, this is kind of personal, but that's okay. One thing that I learned this year was that you need to, be in check with the medication you're on. That sounds very, that's a very large concept to talk about, but, for me personally, I was on an SSRI when COVID started. I was on it from the November before, and right before COVID started, we actually doubled my dose, and then we went into lockdown. And honestly, lockdown was lockdown was a part of my life I felt the most out of touch with myself and my personality in my life, and I think it was because of the actually I know it was because of the medicine. I put on about 20 pounds very quickly, but we were at home, so it's it's just because I'm not doing the same exercises, I'm eating my feelings. Did not think it was the medicine. All summer, same. I definitely lightened up a little, but I still had that weight. I still was a little bit numb. My first semester, freshman year, I was meeting these people, but I was, and getting these cool experiences, but I was so drained all the time, and no matter what, I could not lose weight, even if I didn't eat a lot at all. And obviously I grew to know my body like that and appreciate my body like that and appreciate and like how I looked, and I liked that I was proud of myself for still being able to dance and all of that, even though my body felt different. But I was also just super numb. And then I went back to the doctor over winter break last year, and I was I think I just need to change meds completely. And she was okay, yeah, we can try something else. And it made such a big change in my life. I felt so much more like myself again. The numb feeling went away, and that just made me, I'd rather feel things than not feel anything. And being numb keeps you from working through things, I think. So any therapy or anything like that was not going to help me anyway, because I just was pushing it all down and being numbed out. And now I don't think it's an SSRI. I think it targets dopamine instead. I don't actually know for sure, but it's definitely been a lot better for me. It wasn't my lifestyle that changed, it was the medicine. And after that I was wow, I sure wish I would have done this earlier. And I don't want to make it sound like it was all about the weight, because it wasn't. And like I said, I had gotten used to looking like that, and I'd become confident looking like that. When I found clothes that actually looked good on my body in a new way, I liked how I looked. But just knowing that I could have just changed my medicine earlier and not felt those feelings of numbness and suppression earlier, I was yep, I need to learn to check my meds and check what I'm putting in my body more often. Where do you see yourself in 10 years, professionally and personally? Okay, this is kind of a fun question, because 10 years from now, I'm going to be 30. And in the timeline of my life, there's so many things that are going to be different in 10 years, or I hope that will be different in 10 years. Professionally, I aim to have experienced a few different sides of the marketing world. I'd love to work on the brand side of things, working for an agency maybe for a little or as an internship, but I heard it's hard to switch back and forth. So I think the brand side would be fantastic, or also working in social media marketing, aiding influencers or representing influencers. I would never want to be an Instagram influencer myself, but I do love YouTube and I love this platform. And if I were to build a real and honest community of people that I could engage with, I think I would love that. I just wouldn't be, I'd have to be a very authentic version of myself online and hope that that energy attracts people, because I would never want to be putting something out there I don't believe in. Anyway, hopefully working in promotional marketing, if not so not digital, and on activations, and then have moved up into higher ranks of maybe brand account management. I don't know. By then I want to have explored all different parts of the marketing and world, and kind of see where I land and be in a steady job at that point, and hopefully high-paying job, not afraid to say it, because I will definitely have wanted to start a family by then. On a personal note, I think there's like 2 things that are important to me in 10 years. One, I still want to have my best friends. I still want to be hanging out with my friends, even the friends I have now and the friends I am to meet. I never want to be like a mom that doesn't have friends that she hangs out with, that she has plans with. My mom does this thing called Girls Night Out with her friends from high school. I think it's like once a month, and they'll go to like a bar that's like by where their high school is, or they'll go to dinner, and I definitely want to be doing that. And as much as I can, or I would definitely want to be doing that when I'm older, and I just think it's important for me to still have fun with other people besides my partner. Like, that said, I still would love to be married in 10 years, and I would love to have at least my first kid, possibly my second, or second on the way. I want to have 2 kids, and I don't want to have them that late because my parents are a little older, and I don't want them to be like super old grandparents, you know? And I mean, also for personal reasons, I think in 10 years I'm really going to want a little baby. I just think it would be great to have the financial means to start a family then, and if I don't have those, then I'm not going to do that. Like, but I would love to have a family in 10 years and have lived in a few places and have kind of settled down, maybe not in my forever home, but in like a place I could definitely see myself living for a while. And I don't know, I'm excited. That seems really far off, and it is really far off, but it's like kind of fun to think about that stuff sometimes, especially when some people my age like are married and have kids. Like, that is not what I'm ready for at all right now, but in 10 years I definitely see that in my future. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys next Tuesday with Miss Molly Munn. Bye!